Yeah, thank you. Before we get started, there's so many things that are coming up. I have a beautiful, beautiful team that works so hard and so beautifully to make sure that things get out for everyone to see, whether it's on email or on the website or social media. And so there's so much coming up that it's almost hard to keep everybody updated, but always look at our website for sure. We have an excited bunch of us over here, really just working with what we believe so strongly in. And so there's lots of workshops coming up. Check them out. One of the ones, obviously, that I am very excited about is the one that I sat with myself and said, what is it that I want to bring forth? And it is called Everyday Magic. And it is from dark moon to full moon, starting on March 1st till March 18th. And it's a time where that everything is going from its void to its fullness. And it's a beautiful time that I am going to be putting together a package that you would pick up the week before we start. And it's going to have all kinds of potions and all kinds of teas and these things that I've really meditated on and put together as a beautiful contribution to whatever it is that we want to manifest. And I know my manifestation for this dark moon to full moon is going to be to create the greatest psychic abilities that I have from dark moon to new moon. That's my commitment to myself, which means that I'm also going to stop drinking wine for those 18 days. Because many of you know I love my wine, but that's the thing. It's like, it's part of this. How do I grow to my fullest potential? And so if you want to join, go to the website. Oh, the two things I wanted to tell you about is if you don't live in the area, I will mail you the package. I know some of you said, please, I can't come pick it up. I will mail you the package. I'll also be posting on social media some of the stuff that I'll be putting in the package because it's just fantastic. And then if you don't want to be on Facebook, a lot of people don't do Facebook. We will be making sure that we do daily emails to you so you'll get the same content. And plus inside your package, you'll have the daily content. So anyway, something I'm really excited about if you want to join. It's a beautiful time to do that together. So I wanted to chat about this word. I've been just the word of the day. And the word of the day is K-U-H. How do you pronounce that? It means to surprise or astonish. Surprise or astonish. So I want to remind you of the Sky Woman. And the Sky Woman is, in the winter, it says, when the green earth lies resting beneath a blanket of snow, this is the time for storytelling. And the storytelling begins by calling upon the one who came before us, the stories that are given to us. And one of them, reminding us that we're all messengers. In the beginning, there was a sky world. And so the Sky Woman, she fell like a maple seed, pirouetting on an autumn breeze. A column of light streamed from a hole in the sky world, marking her path where only darkness had been before. And it took her a long time to fall. In fear or maybe hope, she clutched very tight to a bundle that she held with her. Hurtling downward, she saw only dark waters below her, but in the emptiness, there were many eyes gazing up at the sudden shaft of light. They saw the small object, a mere dust, more in the beam. And as it grew closer, they could see that it was a woman, arms stretched out, long hair billowing behind the spiraling toward them. The geese, they nodded at one another and rose together from the water in a wave of goose music. And she felt the beat of their wings as they flew beneath her to break her fall. Far from the only home she ever knew, she caught her breath as a warm embrace of soft feathers as they gently carried her downward. And so it began. The geese could not hold the woman above the water for long, so they called a council to decide what to do. Resting on their wings, she saw them all gather loons and otters and swans and beavers and fish. And then a great turtle allowed her to rest on the back. And here it began. This becomes such an important story for us because we too are hurling and spiraling into the unknown and from the unknown. We're coming into a place where we have no idea what's going to catch us. But we always know that the earth has promised us that whenever we realize that we're free falling and that always there's the unknown, that we'll always be caught and held. So if you haven't yet, go ahead and close your eyes. Going back to the word of the day, KUH, to surprise or astonish. To be in that place of gratitude, to know that we're always being held. Sky Woman's story is so profound because she chooses to come to Earth. And as she does, she has no idea how she'll land. And each one of us choose to come to this human existence, and we have no idea what will unfold. Bring your hands together at your heart center, spiraling into yourself again and again. Everyday magic, everyday astonishment. Inhale for the sound of Om, deep breath in. Om. Release your hands, open your eyes. Come onto your hands and knees and press back into child's pose. Welcome everybody. I'm so glad you're here. Perhaps Sky Woman's story endures because we too are always falling. Our lives, both personal and collective, share this trajectory. Whether we jump or we're pushed, or the edge of the known world just crumbles at our feet, we fall spinning into someplace new, unexpected. And despite our fears of falling, the gifts of the world stand by to catch us. I'll tell you in a couple of moments what was Sky Woman's message. So simple and so profound. Come on up to your hands and knees and begin to do cat and cow, please. Each day connects to the planets. Today is Saturn, the day of authority, the day of responsibility, the day to look deep inside of our own karma, our own path, and see if we're creating everything that we wish for. And the beautiful thing about everyday magic is that when we do connect with the planets, when we do connect with the beauty of what that energy brings to us, even when we wear the colors or eat the foods, it just brings us more in harmony instead of disharmony. Downward facing dog when you're ready. Settle into your hands, settle into your feet. Lengthen through the sides of your throat. And then drop down to those knees. Once again, walk your hands back just a little bit so your hands are underneath your shoulders, and then take your right arm out to the right. Slide your right arm underneath your left, threading the needle. My personal practice yesterday, I worked a lot in my shoulders. A lot in that sense of armpits getting lighter, rib cage getting softer. We are in the phase now With it, it's the letting go, right? We came to full moon, so now we're into that waning part of the moon where it says, what do you wish to let go of? Which fears are you holding that aren't yours or are yours and they really don't serve you any longer? Come on up and change sides. Beautiful. You're breathing in and you're breathing out. Sky woman, her offering to all beings. The reason that she came was to offer this simple phrase: use your gifts and dreams for good. So simple. Use your gifts and dreams for good. Instead of thinking about our gifts or our dreams as just our own, will they ever come true? Use your gifts and dreams for the world. Come on up, downward facing dog. Walk your feet in a little bit so it's a short dog or shorter dog. Then put your right hand right at the center of your mat. Take your left hand back for your outer right ankle. And then look underneath that right armpit. Feel this strong energy of the shins drawing in, the inner knees going wide. And then switch to the other side. Open those shoulders. Soften the heart. Yeah, I did a lot. I don't know why, and it's not always my practice, but I did a lot of sighing in my practice yesterday. Good. Release both hands forward. Walk to the front of your mat, standing forward bend. Open your mouth, let out a sigh. Or a scream or a yell or a cry or whatever. Good. Clasp your hands behind your back. Shrug your shoulders towards your ears. Take your arms up and over any amount. I also have a surprise that even my closest ones don't know about yet. We're going to be starting March 2nd. Hands on your hips, press down through your legs, rise up to stand. Bring your hands to your heart center, close your eyes. What are you ready to let go of? March 2nd, we're going to start a 6 a.m. class, 6 to 7 a.m. class, Zoom only. And it begins with bowing 54 times. Place of deep, deep, deep gratitude. And it'll be every morning other than Saturday mornings. Take a deep breath in here. Release your hands down. Inhale your arms to the sky. Exhale, bow forward. Send your left leg back behind you. Inhale your arms to the sky, high lunge. Bend your elbows wide. Lift your chest. Soften your throat. Clasp your hands behind your back. Take a deep breath in and bow forward. Kick up that back thigh as high as it'll go. Drop your left hand down to the floor. Take your right arm to the sky. Sweep your arm over your ear. Beautiful. Take that right arm up to the sky. Reach it back behind you. Lower your back knee down to the mat. Sweep both arms forward in Navasana. Nice, Heidi. Inhale deeply here. Nice Ruchi. Exhale, hands down to the floor. Lift your back knee, step your back foot in just a little bit. Go straight on both legs. Parsvottanasana. Really take a gaze at that front foot. See that it's evenly planted. Nice, Lori. Nice, Lisa. Open your mouth. Step to the front of the mat. Bend your knees deeply. Reach your arms forward and up, chair. Good. Clasp your hands behind you. Nice rise. Bow forward. Take the arms up and over any amount. With the hands float to the floor, step your right leg back behind you. Inhale your arms to the sky, high lunge. Bend your elbows. Feel your chest open wide. Clasp your hands behind your back. Breathe in. Exhale, bow forward. Drop gently your right hand to the floor. Let your left arm reach to the sky. Take your left arm over your ear. Extend your side body. Gorgeous. Reach your left arm back up to the sky. Reach it behind you. Get long and then lower your back knee. Sweep your arms forward and up. Anjaneyasana. Beautiful. Deep breath in here. Exhale your hands down to the floor. Lift your back knee, step your back foot in just a little bit. Go straight on both legs. Nice small. Veteran narrative. A deep bow. It's one of the things that I love so dearly about our practice. So taking your right foot up to meet your left. Inhale your arms out and up to the sky. Exhale your hands to your heart center. Inhale your arms out and up. Let your palms float back through the center of your body, all the way back down to the floor. Bend your knees and gently come down into child's pose. Gently move into child's pose. You might need to step back a little bit. Once in child's pose, turn your palms face up. Breathe here. Use your gifts and dreams for good. Slide your hands back. Bring yourself all the way back up to standing forward bend. Inhale your arms out and up. Exhale your hands to your heart center. Just one more like that. Inhale your arms out and up. Hands come through the center of the body, back down to the earth in prayer. Bending at the knees, come down into child's pose. Turning your palms face up. Slide your hands back, lifting up onto your knees, coming into that standing forward bend once again. Inhaling the arms out and up. Exhaling your hands to your heart center. Beautiful, everybody. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Take a hold of your left wrist and pull to the right. Down to your legs. Come back to center, switch to the other side. And come back to center. Inhale deeply. Interlace your palms, press straight up. And from here, take it to the right. And then take it to the left. Coming back to center. Allow yourself to once again touch the floor. Come on down. Step back, downward facing dog. And drop down to those knees and press back into child's pose. Life is full of surprises, and one of the sacred functions of meditation is prepare us to be poised and ready to laugh, especially when the joke is on us. During meditation, we welcome surprises, however it shows up, in thoughts, shift of moods, or change in the state of consciousness. We welcome the sense that you have no idea what's going to happen next in your practice. You could be feeling bubbly and energized and suddenly fall asleep. You might think you're sleepy and sit in meditation, somehow instantly feel energized. Before a meditation session, you might think you're in a dull, stupid place, and yet you close your eyes and suddenly you're full of sunshine inside and you feel wonderful. Except that you have no idea which item of your to-do list will demand your attention. Your brain has 8 billion neurons, and they're talking to each other. Your body has 10,000 miles of nerves and blood vessels, and they want a chance to commune with each other. When you welcome surprise, you're more likely to perceive the magic show that is our everyday living moments. Come on up to your hands and knees, downward facing dog. Everyday magic. Inhale that right leg back and up behind you, down dog split. Then send your right knee forward for pigeon. If you cannot come into pigeon this way, float onto your back. If you can come into pigeon this way, clasp your hands behind your back so the knee comes to the floor. Good. You can clasp your hands behind your back, lift your shoulders nice and high, side body long, take a breath in, and then start to come forward slowly. Now be careful, right? Squeeze your knees toward each other so you don't have a crash landing. If you need to place your hands in front of you, do that. Or once your forehead touches down, relax your arms in front of you. Resting. Breathing in and breathing out. Spiraling in, spiraling out. Walking your hands up. If you're doing your pigeon with your belly facing the floor, reach your right hand back to your left ankle, taking it into opening the shoulder, pulling that ankle back. Squeeze those knees toward each other, trying to keep those hips nice and square. Reach back to your back. Yep. And then release that hand, step back, downward facing dog. Come forward to plank pose. Lower all the way down to your belly. Rise up into cobra, open your mouth, stick out your tongue. Take a breath back in child's pose for a moment. Fill your back body with breath. Turn your palms face up. And then slide your hands back, coming into downward facing dog. Gorgeous. Nice. Inhaling that left leg back and up behind you, down dog split. Sending your left knee forward for pigeon. Walking your hands back, maybe clasping your hands behind your back. Lift through the chest, pull your throat back, take a big inhale, and start to lower yourself down to the mat, slowly, slowly, slowly. Releasing your hands and your forehead. And again, if you're on your back, left ankle on top of right knee. Enjoy your breath. Came here with nothing but a handful of seeds with the slimmest of instructions to use your gifts and dreams for good. Same instructions that we all carry. She accepted the gifts that other beings gave her. She was honored. She shared her gifts that she brought from Sky World. And everything flourished. As you walk yourself up, reach back for that ankle, left hand, right ankle. And see if you can pull that foot away from you so that shoulder opens. Squeeze those knees toward each other. Good. As you release here, we're going to swing that right leg out in front of you, Janu Shirshasana. Left foot inside of right thigh. Move the left knee a little bit more to the left, so you're going to have to do more of a twist. And then turn over that right leg, deeply turn. Keep that thigh rooted to the floor and come forward over that right leg. Just feeling the length of your spine. Letting that exhale a little bit longer. Beautiful. And then walk yourself back up and place your right hand on your left knee. Right hand on your left knee. And side stretch, bringing your left arm up and over your ear, stretching over that right leg. Nice. Nice. Beautiful, Susan. And turn one more time over that right leg. Let both hands reach one more time. Extending, extending, extending. Super pretty, everybody. As you walk yourself back up, change legs, Janu Shirshasana, second side. Letting that right knee come back further than usual. And then twisting, getting the belly button to come over that left leg. And then move forward any amount. So play a little bit here with what it feels like just to kind of collapse forward and look forward and elongate forward, pull your spine forward. You know, so I kind of feel like there's a place for both of them. Sometimes I like that rounded back so the kidneys get more space and we breathe there. But I also like to see that it's not just that collapse, but that pull forward. Keep the back body puffed up, keep the fullness in the back body to get that length. Exhaling a little bit longer. And slowly beginning to bring yourself back up. And again, that left hand comes to that right knee. Side stretch, taking that right arm up and over your ear. Nice, Marla. Lift that top arm a little higher and extend again. Nice. And then turn over that left leg one more time and bow. Pirouetting into yourself, an unknown. A place that's familiar, a place you're meant to be. As you come back up, come to cross-legged, simple cross-legged seat. Take your hands forward and come into downward facing dog. Inhaling that right leg back and up behind you, down dog split. Bring your heel to your butt, open up, stacking your right hip on top of your left. And then stepping that right foot forward, please. Walk to your left until you come to the center of your mat, Prasarita Padottanasana, wide-legged forward bend. And pull the energy up through those legs, up through the back of the calf muscles, up through the front of the thighs. But then hollowing out at the space where the top of your thighs and your low belly meet. Placing your hands on your hips, press down through your legs, rise up. Wiggle your feet in just a little bit and then turn your feet wide. Bend your knees deeply, inhale your arms to the sky, interlace your palms, press straight up. Good, stretch your legs up to straight. Turn your feet back parallel to each other, clasp your hands behind your back, shrug your shoulders towards your ears. Inhale, exhale, bow forward, taking the arms up and over any amount. Excuse me. You got it. You're good, you're good. So we're together. Good, drop your hands down to the floor, walk to the front of the mat, plank pose. Lower down slow. Clasp your hands behind your back once you arrive. Remember, you're always looking for space, so try not to just drag your shoulders down, but to lift them up towards your ears. Maybe even bend your elbows for a moment. And then lift your head, neck, and chest. So you're on your belly. There you go. Good. Now lift your legs just for fun. You're going to take your arms forward, flying women, sky women. And then plant your hands by your rib cage, drop your legs, and press back downward facing up. Inhaling your left leg back and up behind you. Heel to your butt, open your hip. And sending your left foot forward, please. And then turning to your right until you come to the center of your mat. Nice in and bow deeply, nice rise. Beautiful, everybody. Hands on your hips. Push down through your legs, rise up. Turn your feet slightly in and then turn your feet out. Interlace your palms, press up. Maybe do the awkward one where you put the other fingers in first. Good, sink deep into your squat, so bend your knees. Pull your throat back, don't let your head drop here. Yeah. When we get into the shoulders, right, we have a tendency to drop the head sometimes. Pull that throat back. Gorgeous. Straighten those legs, turn your feet parallel to each other. Awkward hand hold, clasp your hands behind your back, other thumb weaves in first, shrug your shoulders towards your ears, navel in, bow forward. I'm doing more work than you are. I have to say 16 things in a sentence. Just kidding. Drop your hands to the floor, walk to the front of your mat, everything to the front of your mat, standing forward bend. Sweep the arms out and up, and bring your hands to your heart center, close your eyes. Spiraling into yourself. Gorgeous. Let your eyes open, reach back for your right ankle, Natrajasana. Take your left arm up to the sky. And start to lean forward. Kicking that foot into your hand as a shoulder stretch. Nice. Good, now lift your chest a little higher, but come a little lower. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, release. I love that. Lift your chest a little higher, but go a little lower. And every single person did that. Change sides. Take your time. Be timeless here. Lift the chest high, but lean. Kick that back thigh as high as it'll go. Beautiful. And release. Both feet together at the front of the mat. Feet almost touching. Bend your knees deeply into chair. Bring your hands together at your heart center. Prayer twist to the right, left elbow hooks. Shoulder stretch. Use it as a shoulder stretch. Feel yourself squeeze behind the shoulder blades. Good, reach the arms forward and up and change sides. And in the most graceful way, touch the floor and come into child's pose. I'm preparing you for the bowing. If you show up to that 6 a.m. class, 54 bows. Can you take it? And then you practice. And because it's half of 108. And 108 is a very magical number. So I think on Sunday she does 108. Oh, Lord, we have to get ready for her. This is like a marathon to get ready to. I'm gonna go. Come on up to your hands and knees and do a little cat-cow here. Right, some of you remember the days when we used to do 108 sun salutations in September on the World Peace Day. Of course, by the end of it, you fell deep into this glorious feeling of accomplishment. What's the word of the day? Coup. Surprise or astonish. Life is full of surprises, and you are one of them. Downward facing dog. Step that right foot forward, open to Virabhadrasana 2, second warrior. Did you think we were going to go there? Sometimes I like to do a class without any standing, but here we are. Somehow we got here. Straighten that front leg and reach for triangle. Okay, now clasp your hands behind your back. Good, now pull your spine as long as you can. Don't let your head hang. Good, now gather yourself. Keep your arms where they are. Come all the way back up to Virabhadrasana 2. And then take those arms out to letter T. Beautiful. Navel stays in. Sweep those hands down to the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. Vinyasa of choice or none at all. Nice Catherine. Nice Ruchi. Left foot steps forward. Vira 2. That moment of forgetting what I was doing. Good. Straighten that front leg and reach for triangle pose. I think that me teaching over 20 years and moving forward, I won't get Alzheimer's because I have learned how to remember details as I make them up. Clasp your hands behind your back. Really take the head of those arm bones back, 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 back. Looks so good, you guys. The no armed triangle pose. And then keep the arms there as you reach yourself back up, bending that front knee and then shooting the arms out, second warrior. But I have laughed at how we're going to grow old together. We're all going to be like 90 years old and I'm going to be giving instruction. You're like, what? She's trying to kill us. Downward facing dog. Take it through vinyasa of choice. One of these herbs she's giving us. She's killing us. Come on down to your knees when you're ready, child's pose. Some of you know this story, some of you don't know the story, but I think it's hysterical. My mom, when she lived here, she worked in Paramus at the adult daycare center, and it was for adults with dementia and Alzheimer's. And she brought me in to teach yoga. And I was sitting in a chair and I was sincerely saying, inhale your right arm up, exhale it down. And a guy in the back row was like, she's trying to kill us. And then I put on music and a lady stood up and started doing like ballet. I mean, she was 80 years old, you know, and I'm like, Mom, this isn't for me. She's trying to kill us. Oh my goodness. Walk your upper body to the right side of the mat, stretching. Take that left hand and place it on top of your right hand. And then take it to the other side. Come back to center, clasp your hands behind your back and roll onto the crown of your head, lifting your seat up. Come on up to your hands and knees. Downward facing dog. Walk or jump, squat. Blanket underneath your heels if you'd like. Here's a really nice opportunity to come into crow pose if you'd like. Arm balance, planting your hands on the floor, digging your knees to the upper shelf of your arms, squeezing your feet toward each other, or just stay and squat. Good. From crow pose, return back to your squat. Beautiful, everybody. And then come down to sit. Bring the soles of your feet together. Blanket underneath your seat is always nice. Wiggle your butt back. And move forward with your hands slowly, slowly, slowly. Squeeze those feet together, lift those shins just a little bit, hollow that low belly, and then again, pull your spine forward and then fall forward again. You rise back up, grab your big toes, and stretch your legs out to a nice wide letter V. Moving your chest forward. Using the big toe grip to pull your shoulder blades onto your back and draw your heart forward, navel in. And then slowly bring those legs forward, nice wide-legged forward bend. Legs come back down to the floor. You can let go of the big toes. And again, see that the sit bones move back. Look forward, grow the front of your spine a little bit longer. Sternum long. Oh, feels so good. This is verse 43, what I've been taking the word from. What's really nice about the Radiance Sutras is that he goes through all the sutras and explains them all, and then he takes out a word from each sutra to go into practice of. So this is 43. He says, "You whose existence melts me, whenever you dissolve into helpless laughter, transported by a magic show, antics or jokes, having your armpits tickled and drenched by a sudden shower, or any of nature's tricks, dive into the source of that laughter and surrender to the surge of joy, illuminating the essence of reality." Whew. Surprise and astonish. You can wander over to the right leg if you'd like and take a side stretch there. And then try the other side. Beautiful. Come back up, squeeze your legs back together. And then bend your knees once again, lift your feet off the floor, coming into boat pose, Navasana. Pull your chest as close to your thighs as you can. And then take your hands behind your calf muscles and start to walk get your legs to go straight and start to walk your legs and your chest to each other. So pull your chest and your legs to each other. Good. Now slowly release the legs. Be careful. Make sure there's room behind you, and lower down slow, slow, slow until you just hover above the floor. And then relax your head to the floor and hug your knees into your chest. Reach for your instep coming into happy baby. And then plant your feet on the floor, preparing to come up into bridge. Maybe come into the robot arms, soften the rib cage, draw the head back, and lift up your hips. Maybe clasp your hands underneath you. Maybe stay right where you are. Keep breathing in and breathing out and sighing as you wish. Lowering your seat back down, pausing for a moment and breathing. And flipping over onto your back, onto your belly, sorry. Coming up into Sphinx pose. And taking your feet as wide as your mat. Sliding your right arm underneath your left like you're threading a needle, rolling over onto that right hip. Keeping your feet as wide as your mat. Let your left hip come on top of your right hip and stretch your left arm behind you onto the floor. Spiraling into yourself. Your only instruction. What's on your to-do list? Use your gifts and dreams for good. And come on back up into Sphinx pose. Keeping the feet nice and wide. We'll take the left arm, slide it underneath the right. Once again, sliding over until your right hip comes on top of your left hip. Feet stay wide. Take your right arm behind you. Hopefully it reaches all the way back to touch the floor. Should your right shoulder be touching the floor? That's where we would like it to get to. If it's not, that yours is, but yeah, if it's not, that's fine. Returning back to Sphinx pose. So when we reach back for those ankles, we often do bow where we pull the heels back and lift the chest. This one, I want you to reach back for your ankles and pull the heels down towards your outer hips. So you're going to bend your elbows to do this. This is tricky. This is really tricky, and especially for tight shoulders, but give it a shot. Bend your elbows, lift your chest, but try to pull your heels down instead of lifting up. Good, and then just for fun, pull your ankles away from you. Really beautiful, everybody. Release and turn your cheek to the side. And who knows? The universe, they say, popped out of nothingness. That is what magicians are telling us as they pull rabbits out of hats. We love being astonished, for joy rises in us when we accept the surprising nature of reality. Welcome the laughter as a gift of the divine. Beautiful. Lift up and press back into child's pose for a moment. And we are going to do camel. Take a couple of breaths in child's pose. And then if you do like to have a block that goes between your shins or anything else to prepare it to come into camel, lift up onto your knees. Maybe a little extra padding underneath your knees. And it's nice because in camel, we can just keep our hands on our hips and press down through our legs and lift our chest, keep our ribs soft, or we can reach all the way back, hands coming all the way back for those ankles. And then come back and just sit on your heels if you can, or child's pose. From here, I'm going to offer you inversions because I want to take you into a breathing practice. So come into your inversion first before you do that. If you want to put your legs up the wall or come into shoulder stand, headstand, handstand, form balance, or just lie on your back and stretch your legs to the sky. Stay here for another minute. And then begin to bring yourself out of your inversion. You want to take a child's pose or roll your head from side to side. And then find yourself coming up to a comfortable cross-legged seat. I'm going to challenge you to something so simple. You know, we're in the kapha season, so this is the season where we tend to have excess. Okay? Everything about kapha means excess, more mucus, more, you name it. I want to tell you something disgusting, but I'm going to choose not to. I'll save you. So something so simple as breathing deeply on your inhale and breathing deeply on your exhale. And my challenge to you is, can you sit anywhere from 3 minutes to 10 minutes every day for the next week and do just a simple breathing as long as you can on the inhale and as long as you can on the exhale. So close your eyes, any mudra that you'd like, maybe thumb and first finger come to touch. Close your eyes and just simply breathe in. And breathe out as long as you can. We're going to do this for 3 minutes here so you can see what it feels like to do it for 3 minutes. I want to challenge you to sit every day and do this. Astonish and amaze yourself by staying present. Your everyday magic is you. And you animate yourself each and every day and each and every moment. Stay with it. Less than a minute. Get longer on your inhale, longer on your exhale. Next time you exhale, release this breath. Just sit for a moment in silent meditation. You can stay here or come to lie down on your back for Shavasana. You're so gently begin to deepen your breath. And your body begin to stretch in any way that feels really good to you. You're lying down, hug your knees into your chest, roll to the right side, come on up to sit. Bless you. Bring your hands together at your heart center, spiraling in and spiraling out. So many blessings, so much magic. Thank you for creating it with me. Inhale for the sound of Om, deep breath in. Sliding your hands to the space between the eyebrows. Namaste, everybody. Thank you so much. Everybody, everywhere. Everybody, everywhere. You're welcome.
Thank you, Sheryl.